Our group is Pokemon RPI. I'm Theodore Tendorio.
I'm Tommy Fang.
And Amon isn't here right now. He had a family crisis, so he had to go take care of that. But moving on, let's cover what we are. So fundamentally, we're remaking Pokemon Generation 2 game, and we're adapting it to work on the RPI campus. We're doing a lot of very specific details to make this adaptation work without directly just having the vanilla game there. We want to make it better than the original game. We want to make it centered on RPI campus and culture. So it is more than just a Pokemon remake. That being said, we want to be authentic and honest to the original game. We don't want to just rip off all their nostalgia without paying tribute to the work that they did put into the game. So I think we're trying to make a good balanced new version of the game. So currently, we're trying to get all of our systems up to pre-alpha state, which means that they can have a running, working version. So we actually do have a working version of the game engine, and by working I mean you can move around and stuff. To get to an alpha state, we have to have a lot of other peripheral systems up and running, which we don't have planned to have up till the end of summer, but we will show you a working demo at the end of the presentation. One of the hardest parts about this game is getting all the resources to work. There are several hundred tiles alone, not including sprites for every Pokemon, move, and item in the entire game. There's a lot of resources that have to be loaded. Luckily, because this is such an old game, it can all be preloaded and the game should run nice and smooth. But getting all those resources managed and making everything work together is kind of a big task, and that's what we've been focused mainly on for the last 2 months. Pokedex. It's actually harder than you think to get words to appear like that. I've had to do a lot of cutting and snipping and placing of images and stuff, but that'll also be in the working game engine. And I'll show you it statically types it out in front of you. We're trying to do it the same way Pokemon did it in their original game. These are some peripherals. So the battle engine is by far the most complicated cog in this machine. It involves almost every other peripheral device within the game. So that'll be the last one to get to the alpha stage. And unfortunately, we don't have a demo of that yet. That will hopefully be in our next presentation. But the animation engine is actually something I've been working on a lot recently. There are so many different types of animations in this game, and some of them actually have to happen in parallel. So getting those to work neatly and correctly has been a pretty big challenge in this project. And then the backpack, which is my short way of saying we're cataloging and categorizing all the images and items in this game so that they can be used effectively. It's a lot when there's almost 1,000 of them.
And I've been working on the game and level design aspect of the project, and like Ted said, we're trying to push out pre-alpha as fast as we can. So when it gets near the end of the semester, we hope to have the engines running and a smooth game. We'll be implementing more Pokemon, more items, and more moves as it goes, and we're using the storyline to show you around RPI in a way. Well, the gym leaders become like your first semester tests and so on. 8 badges, 8 tests you have to take. And we won't spoil the whole story now, but let's say the villainous Union College is at Upwards. Yeah, and we're gonna rebalance the stats and certain mechanics so the game doesn't feel as grindy as if, I don't know if anyone here like did EV values or whatever. We're trying to get rid of those so you don't have to farm like hours to get good Pokemon. Most of them will be pretty good. And we'll implement like choosing your own residence hall. At the beginning of the game, you'll start in the ECAV area, like where most of you guys got your things, your keys and stuff. That's where you get your Pokemon, your Pokeballs. Yeah, and we're gonna make meaningful dialogue and cutscenes. It's not gonna be stock conversations with like random NPCs. they'll have tips for you, and just if it's a real location at RPI, they'll give you like a good snippet about this place. We're gonna import music from the original games, and if we have time, we might even make our own, but we don't know yet. And another interesting aspect to this is New Game Plus. After you've beaten the game, you can choose to make the game really hard, and we're gonna make this challenging for people who want to be challenged, and we'll have new puzzles and just secret new mechanics. Really more into it. Yeah, and then multiplayer is a big aspect we want to try to implement so people can socialize and stuff. But we're not going to implement trading because you should catch your own Pokemon. And we might implement a ranking system, but that's way far off.
To be clear, multiplayer is something that wouldn't happen this semester. This would be something after we have a complete working vanilla game. Alright, so before we show you the demo, just to be clear, the demo is of gameplay mechanics, not actual gameplay content. So the map isn't exactly lore friendly, I guess you could call it. But it does work. So that works. Move around, yay! Doors don't go anywhere yet, but yeah. So you can kind of see this is where a lot of the different work we've been putting in shows off, because you get all these different sprites, and maps are actually really easy to make. If you want to make a map, I will use it. This is the hardest part of this game. I have no maps yet. Please use my map editor and make something. It's available on GitHub. It's really easy to use. It's one click. So yeah, do that. That would help me out. But other than that, you can kind of see where we're going with this. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions, ask me now. Yeah.
I know you rolled your own tile editor for it, but I'm just saying there's a really great tile editor out there called Tiles that we use for our project, and it's very fully featured. So if you're interested, you can take a look at it.
We've actually taken a look at quite a few tile editors, including some through Steam. The reason why we have our own right now is because it was quicker to get that up and running than to sync our system with other tiles used for other means. Because we also have to store additional information in those tiles, like action information if there's a player on it, or if there's a sign on it that needs reading. But yeah, we've definitely looked into making new tiles through third-party editors. Yeah.
This is kind of like a gameplay aspect of it. I don't know if you already thought of it, but having puzzles and stuff that require people to go out along RPI's campus and other things. Like somebody written in black for the trees that were planted.
That'd be interesting, coordinating our in-game puzzles with the 3D layout of RPI. That's definitely something we'll take into consideration.
Yeah. Sounds cool.
Yeah?
I don't know, this is just a suggestion, but I know that pretty much all the games have some type of underground area.
Yeah.
Could you kind of parallelize that with the underground route to be there and there?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. That's the direction we plan on going. Like I said though, we don't have any maps yet, so if that's something that interests you, put together a map and we might just use it. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.